Good morning, everybody. Tuesday, the 29th of July, and 9 a.m. EST. Should be all good. Good morning, everybody. Breaking down the indexes just to start on the broader market: YM, RTY, ES, and NQ. And you can see yesterday, pretty much as we spoke on the ES and the NQ, the only trade I did take was on the ES, and we'll discuss why. But I think I took 3 trades in total. 1 loss, 1 break even, and 1 win. And you can see P&L on the day was 1,129. Just to go over a couple of things I said last night in the Discord, or yesterday, that's actually transpired into today, those levels. So you can see we've actually turned bullish now on the BX trender, which is why I alerted that this morning. But also, if I just go back to what I spoke about this yesterday. So we came down to, on the NQ I marked yesterday, 22,435 as that support. And you can see now on the NQ, we have pretty much come up to around 260, around 180 points out of that 260. So probably about 60 or 70% of that move as we marked out yesterday. And also on the ES as well. So if I go back down, you'll see, I think I put in there about the ES as well. Yeah, the ES as well completed that halfway back on the RTH. So you can see, just to break down again, we'll go in sequential order. So indexes, yesterday, pretty boring day, but again, Monday, right? So low expectations yesterday, and this is the action. So this is the actual trading action for all of the indexes. So all of this gray area is the RTH session, the regular trading hours, and everything else in black is just the overnight session. So you can see pretty mixed overall. You can just see grind down, grind down, grind down, and pretty much grind down on the RTY. So we were at and below and above trend all day on both indexes. For the NQ, ES pretty much did stay below most of the day, and it was just, to be honest, I should have just been, I was long in this, and in all fairness, we mentioned about this 34s. I even remember the level 34s as the pivot, right? Pivot for the day, and that's just purely because of that trend line. And of course, it was also, as you can see now, pretty much the high of day. So we may get a flip, resistance turn support into today. So I'm going to mark that level out. We are above trend. We are at the overnight midpoint, and there was a retest of that overnight midpoint this morning on the ES, which traded a traditional. So you can see here, I took a long on the ES this morning. 4 contracts sold into the negative 23 and 62, and we are inside that same anchor new high halfway back. So that is at previous day high from yesterday. The break and retest will be this level. So this will be the resistance turn support inside a halfway back above trend at previous day high. We are still bullish also on the ES on the daily and also on the monthly and the weekly. So I probably will stick to the ES until the NQ at least has a close on this daily for the BX. NQ didn't really trade any traditionals on the half an hour time frame, so nothing really to go off there. And same on the overnight session, really. So that is your indexes. Again, for the weeklies and the dailies and also the monthlies, you are still in trend on all indexes. NQ has finally turned over the midpoint of 0 on the daily, so that is really important. We just want to see that close today, so we can actually see that we are going to continue at least try and get this trend. And if we go to the monthly on both of these charts, you can see the levels that I have marked on the NQ. Above these levels, so pretty much 24,200 on the high end, above these levels, all we can do is expect the blue sky breakout and pretty much these fib targets to take place. So these will be the same anchor new high targets as you can see on screen. So once we tag or break above 24,200s, that is pretty much all of my intraday levels completed, right? Above that, it is just going to be blue sky breakouts, all-time highs after all-time highs. And we'll just have to follow the trend until the trend changes. Same on the ES on the monthly, those levels pretty much call it, I'll mark them out actually. So pretty much on the high end of around 6,770. Again, above that, it is blue sky breakouts, follow the trend until it breaks. And on the daily on the daily intraday time frame on the ES, all I'm really looking for on the ES, I don't want to trade any of these high to highs. I know we're in a high to high here. I don't want to trade it. I would rather have us come back down to 6,434s, but that will be at that point below the previous day high and also below the overnight midpoint, but still above trend. So I still think this is worth taking if we can actually get and hold above. That's why I've marked this setup here. If we can't do any of this, and again, this is resistance turning into support. So if we actually do get back above this, could be tomorrow, could be next week. If we do get a back above this area, it will be support. At the moment, it's acting as resistance because obviously, as you can see, this is the same level as last Monday, right? So that's still that resistance. If we can get above, I do think we can go higher. Hence why I marked that out. Okay, so that is all I'll have on ES today is pretty much just marking alerts at, call it 440s. So in fact, I will just do that whilst I'm on here. So 440s on the ES, I will just mark that and I won't pay attention until that trades. NQ, same sort of thing, but we're just in a better situation because the previous day high will be at that level as opposed to the ES, you'll be much more above that level. So the NQ, somewhat cleaner. You've got trend right at the halfway back that I want to see trade. And that is pretty much having the resistance that we had yesterday. So this is the resistance here. Let me get the path. Let me get the arrow. The resistance we had yesterday will turn into potentially support today if we come down there. So I would rather see us to come down, bounce off. So something like this. So we come down, as you can see here, and then bounce off into those targets. So if we can get something like that, I would take it. That's why I've marked this path tool here. Again, we might not come down to these levels. We've already traded about 70% of my expected sort of range on this. But for us to actually get a target, that is all we can do. So we came down to the same sort of trade on yesterday. Resistance turned into support. That's what we wanted to see. And you've come back up into those highs. So same sort of thing as basically what happened yesterday. I just didn't want to take it because we were below trend. So that's why I didn't take a trade on the NQ. And I was already long on ES as well. So yeah, all I'm really looking for today is pretty much previous day high from yesterday hold. 520s will be that level, and that will give us magnitude to 700s. Anything below that, I will just sit on hands. So anything pretty much below, call it 23,500, I will just sit on hands. Okay. So I keep it fairly straightforward today. No need to overcomplicate things. These shouldn't really take any more than 5 to 10 minutes if you've got the right levels on your screen. Everyone on YouTube, if you aren't in the Discord, click the link in the description below for the 7-day free trial. Everyone watching this who is in the Discord, I will see you there in a second.